Ever puzzled over the meaning of some big fancy English words? Or maybe you're like me, just nodding and smiling when someone drops one of them in a conversation. Well, no need to fake it till you make it anymore. We're about to take you on a hilariously educational ride, exploring 10 English words that might have left you scratching your head. We'll unravel their meanings, show off how they're used, and even dig their peculiar origins. This ain't your regular vocabulary lesson. It's a comical adventure into the maze of the English language. So strap in and get ready to laugh your way to a broader vocabulary. Rolling in, we have the word buoyed. This term implies sense of upliftment or support, much like a buoy bobbing happily on the water's surface. It's similar to that sudden jump in your heart when you discover a forgotten $20 bill in your old jeans pocket. For example, she was buoyed by the squad-sized support of buddies. Now isn't that a boy oh boy moment? Digging back to its cradle, the old French buoy, which translates to anchor buoy, this word has bounced up to symbolize resilience and optimism. So, the time you feel like you're floating on cloud 9, remember my friend, you're buoyed. Next we're diving into precarity. Now this isn't just a big fancy Latin-derived word that you can impress your friends with at parties. Precarity is all about instability and insecurity. Think of it this way. It's like being a tightrope walker, except there's no safety net, no cheering crowd, and certainly no applause when you make it to the other side. Looks like the circus has never been so real, huh? It's a word that perfectly sums up the shaky ground we sometimes find ourselves on. So the next time you're living on ramen noodles awaiting your next, you can say, the sweet taste of precarity. Our third word is lynchpin. Now, think of a lynchpin as that superhero friend who not only remembers to bring snacks to a party, but also saves the day when the chips run out. Lynchpin is a person or thing that holds everything together. Kind of like the glue that prevents your life from falling apart like a poorly built IKEA furniture. The term lynchpin has its roots in Old English linnis, which referred to a pin used to keep a wheel from sliding off the axle of a cart. So, in other words, a lynchpin is essentially that boss-level player in a video game that you can't beat the level without. Next, we plunge headfirst into the whirlpool called Vagaries. Now this is a word which is as unpredictable as the one who invented English breakfast without including any tea in it. Vagaries, my friends, are unpredictable changes or variations, mostly seen in behavior or circumstances. For instance, the vagaries of the stock market can baffle even the sharpest Wall Street wolves. It's like trying to understand why you're afraid of cucumbers. Baffling. Tracing back to its roots, this term comes from the Latin vagare, which means to wander. This makes it a beautifully poetic, if not a mischievous way, to wrap up the unpredictable nomadic nature life. Hence, vagaries are the plot twists in the blockbuster movie called Life, minus the popcorn. Midway through our journey, we stumble upon Fillip. Now, little gem of a word is the English language equivalent to that unexpected extra dollop of whipped cream on your sundae. It basically means something that acts as a spark plug or a turbo booster to an activity. For instance, the surprise bonus acted as a fillip to the team's morale, like a surprise pizza party on a Monday. And get this, fillip comes from an old game where a player would flick a small object with their fingers. Probably the medieval version of shooting paper balls into a trash can, I guess. So, next time you need an extra sprinkle of energy, remember to add a pinch of Fillip to your life. Stepping forward, we encounter the term Corpus. Funny as it sounds, it's not a new dance move or a fancy type of pasta, but it refers to a collection of written or spoken material, stashed away in a form that even robots find appetizing. This term is as cat videos amidst linguistic researchers, language teachers, and artificial intelligence aficionados. Now buckle up and activate your time machines. Corpus originates from Latin, where it translates to body. Just like a body is composed of various parts like the head for thinking and legs for running away from responsibilities, a corpus contains a smorgasbord of text or speech. Thus, a corpus is basically a body of work, or you could say the buffet of language if you wanted to add a little spice to it. Our seventh word is steadfast. Think of it like your grandma refusing to switch from her flip phone to a smartphone because she insists the old one works just fine. Yes, that's steadfast for you. It refers to being resolutely or dutifully firm and unwavering. It's like that one friend who insists on wearing their favorite team's jersey, no matter how many times they lose. Originates from the Old English word combining stead, meaning place, and fast, meaning fixed, kind of like that stubborn ketchup stain on your shirt. So a steadfast person is fixed in their place, as immovable as a mule refusing to budge. Remember, steadfast is all about unwavering commitment, akin to a toddler's dedication to eating spaghetti with their hands. Next on the docket, we have Secretariat. Imagine this: an office humming like a beehive, the staff juggling the affairs of a megacorporation, or even an alien federation. That's your Secretariat for you. This term has its roots snugly planted in medieval Latin, birthed from secretarius, meaning confidential officer, also known as the office's secret superhero. Often found skulking in the shadows of international diplomacy, the Secretariat is like the behind-the-scenes crew at a rock concert, never missing a beat. So a Secretariat is essentially the office's version of a backstage ninja squad. Our penultimate word is sans. It's a little like dieting. Everything you wish for, just sans the calories. This posh term, sans, is fancy talk for without. It's usually whipped out to sprinkle some suave, sophisticated magic onto language. Think of it this way. If you wanted to say that you're without a doubt, you might say sans doubt. Or if you're on a diet, you might want your cake sans sugar. Borrowed from the old French sans, it carries the same meaning. So to wrap it up with a neat little bow, remember, sans is the high society's way of saying without. Alright folks, buckle up because we're diving into the world of pedantic. It's just like that friend who insists on correcting your grammar, even in texts. This term is all about an extreme love for details or rules, especially in scholarly settings. Born from the French term pedant, it's like a magnifying glass that only sees the tiny errors, completely missing the grand scenery. It's often used to label someone who's more interested in the rule book than the game itself. So the next time your friend harps on about that misplaced comma, instead of getting annoyed, just smile and say, "Congrats, you're being just remember, being pedantic is like hosting a party for the little things." Phew, we've certainly covered a lot of ground today. We've tangoed with Buoyed and tussled with Precarity, got to grips with the sturdy Lynchpin, and wrestled the unpredictable Vagaries. We've danced a jig with the invigorating Fillip, taken a tour the cavernous Corpus, and saluted the unyielding Steadfast. And let's not forget our brief office visit to the Secretariat, our journey with sans, and our attention to detail with the nitpicky Pedantic. Each word, a universe unto itself, making our language that much richer, and our dictionary a little bit thicker. We hope you've had as much fun on this linguistic roller coaster as had creating it. We're chomping at the bit to see you in the next video. Until then, keep exploring words. And remember, no dictionaries were harmed in the making of this video.